Okay, so we're back, continuing on with version 1.82 of the Legends Quest plugin. So what I'd like to do now is actually create a couple of quests in this area, and while I'm doing that is I'm going to demonstrate some of the features of the Quest plugin when combined with other plugins. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a quick, and these are all going to be really short, simple quests. You can take, as you already learned from previous videos, you can take short little quests and combine them and link them together into, larger stories kind of thing. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to make some short, simple quests just to demonstrate the features. And the first one I'm going to start with is having a quest to collect seashells that are, owned by some beach goblins. And considering this is a beach, we have a little kind of like a little merchant area or whatever over here. So we're gonna have a guy here who's maybe sells seashells or by the seashore or something like that, and he wants you to go collect some seashells off of some goblins. Now this isn't terribly new or different, but that's okay because I just want to demonstrate some of the changes in the GUI first by having this quest. So we have a pretty good idea of what we want, so all we have to do is start by firing up the Quest plugin. And we'll go File, and we'll go New, and we'll go Quest. And again, as soon as we do this, we'll notice that our quest ID is starting at 1000, which is where we left it in the GUI. So we'll call this quest, I don't know, she sells seashells. There we go. I guess it'll be a girl who's doing it. Let's just give out 100 experience, and we'll give out 50 gold and one, all the normal stuff. So nothing terribly exciting or different here. However, down here, if we'll notice that there's now a whole bunch of new buttons at the bottom. What I did here was just make it easier to navigate around the wizard, where before it was just next and previous all the way through. Now you can actually navigate to where you want. You don't have to go next all the way to the end and then hit finish. You can actually hit finish anytime you want. Of course, it does have some requirements. You have to have an NPC and stuff like that. So I'm just going to click NPC 1, and this is our initiator. We don't have any NPCs yet, so we'll create a brand new one, and we'll just call her, I don't know, Julie Shaw. There we go. Or is that July? Whatever. We'll call her Julie. She won't have a pre-quest one-liner because she has no requirements, so thanks for getting me those seashells. Pretty simple. And I'm going to keep these very, very, very simple to keep things flowing along. Again, you have to, when you're doing these quests for real, you'd obviously have a whole lot more meat to them versus these little one-liners that I'm putting in here. Hi there, adventurer. Would you mind collecting some seashells for me? The beach goblins carry them, but I sure could use some. Okay, nothing odd or different there. Please collect the seashells from the beach goblins. Oops. Goblins for me. And you may as well tell them, I'll give you some gold for them. Okay, simple enough. Quest finisher. Thank you so much for collecting these seashells. As promised, here is some gold. Okay, simple, easy. Nothing different here in version 1.82 other than the typical bug fixes. However, when we click Add, one thing you'll notice right away is we have a new quest objective that we can use, and that's called Eavesdrop, and that is as a result of the Legends Banter plugin. I'll demonstrate a quest with this a little bit later, so we'll just ignore it for now, but there's a new button there. So what she wants us to do is loot a creature drop. She wants us to collect seashells from beach goblins, so we'll be using this one, loot a creature drop. Now, the first big change you'll notice on this one, and this is like this on all objectives now, you can actually sort or filter your blueprints this in a similar way as the actual blueprint system itself does by all global modular campaign. So, for example, if I want to look at all the campaign-only creatures, I can do that, and that's just empty because I have no campaign creatures. If I want to filter by global, it will show me all the ones that are built in only. If I want to filter by module, again, I don't have any module creatures in here yet, so that's what that's all about. So I am going to create a beach goblin. So I need to see them all. And I'm just going to look for goblin here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select goblin and create a copy, because you can't actually use the goblin built-in ones because well, for starters, the quest plugin won't let you, but you can't modify these, and you need to modify them to make them part of a quest. So we create a copy. The item that we're going to use, she wants us to collect a seashell, so I'm just going to use like a, I don't know, just a ruby, to act as a seashell, just because we want to keep it simple. So she's going to want you to get 3 of these, and we're going to have to create a copy of that as well because it's a built-in one. And again, the same thing. If I want to, search by module, here are all the items that are built into module. Now you'll probably say, hey, what are those items doing in there? Those are all module items. Yes, these are part of the loot plugin, so you'll notice that in this list. And this is where it comes in handy by starting to put the word quest after things with that other new option, and you'll be able to spot your quest items in these lists, kind of thing, a little bit easier. And again, global. And of course, the same as before, you can always create a brand new item using the new or use existing. So if you just use new, then this just grays out and you can type in the name of your new item. However, we're still going to use existing, so we're going to want to use that ruby. So again, these are filters to be able to differentiate between your items and your campaign items, your module items, so on and so forth. So that's pretty straightforward. And of course, what she wants us to actually do, collect seashells. So we'll do that, and we'll hit finish. Whoops, sorry, forgot to check the create item, create copy, and that's what I was referring to when I said the system won't let you. This ruby is a built-in object, and it needs to use custom blueprints. It can't use built-in items. So when I try to hit finish, it's saying a built-in item like this already exists. Please copy or create a new one. So we have to make sure that we create a copy of any built-in ones. So we hit finish, and that is pretty much it for this quest. So I don't now. Here's again as before. Before I would have to go next. Now I can just hit finish, and my quest is done, and quit. Now I'm going to just pull over my blueprints and demonstrate some of the changes here. If I go to my module now, I'll see under creatures, my Legends quest, I'll see quest creatures, I'll see the name of my quest now, She Sells Seashells, and I'll see the goblin with the word quest because I requested that in my configuration. And NPCs, I'll see Julie Shaw, again, she'll have the word quest after her name too because I asked the plugin to do that in that configuration option. So those are how the new organizational system works. Now, again, there's an option there to reorganize existing items. So all you have to do is edit your quest, hit the finish button, and your blueprints get reorganized like this. So if you've been using the quest plugin in the past, and you're asking yourself, well, what about all my 1,000 blueprints that I already have? They'll get reorganized unless you turn that off, and then they'll stay whatever organization that you've decided. So it's an option. Same thing with items. The items will appear the same way. Quest items, seashells. There's the ruby. And placeables, well, actually, I don't think we used any placeables yet, so these are built in. Now, something that's important, and it came to my attention a while back that was very, very important to some builders that are using the Quest plugin, and that was my design decision to make the tag and resref dependent upon each other. So new quest items that you created specifically for quests with the Legends quest plugin weren't really a problem because it assigned the tag and resref, so those weren't really an issue. But we had some builders that said things like, well, I have 4,000 blueprints already in my module, and I want to use your Legends quest plugin. However, my 4,000 items have tags that are different from their resrefs. And that was a problem in previous versions of the Legends Quest plugin because these needed to be identical for it to work. And if they weren't, things broke. It didn't work. It was a dependency. Now, however, 1.82, that dependency is gone. So you can absolutely have different tags and different resrefs. What's important, though, is that you don't change them after you create the quest because the information that's in here is recorded in the quest and it needs to know that information. So if I change this Ruby resref right now to something else, it'll mess up this quest. However, if I already had an item here that had a different tag and a different res ref, that's not a big deal. These can be different now. They don't have to be identical. And then I can use it in a quest, no problem. The problem comes in is when I start changing these outside the quest plugin. You really don't want to do that after you've added an item to a quest. But the simple fact that these can be different now is was really a showstopper for some people. So now that dependency is gone. These can be absolutely be different. You just don't want to be changing them after you've put them in a quest. Otherwise, you know, when you go to edit the quest, it'll actually come up with a message saying, hey, did you delete something or change something? Because I'm looking for that ruby for this quest and it's not in your blueprints anymore. So you gotta be careful of that. But sure, they can absolutely be different now. You don't need to have them identical anymore. So that's another big change. So that's that quest. Now what we're going to do is we're going to implement this quest. We have everything we need, and I'm going to go ahead and leave the stock stuff as is. I'm not going to change the appearances or anything like that. I'm just going to leave things as is. So what we're going to do is we're going to just spawn these with the Legend Spawn plugin. And how to use the Legend Spawn plugin is in its own set of videos, so you don't need to, you shouldn't panic over what I'm about to do here. I'm just setting up the Legend Spawn plugin for this area. What is the tag of this area? Where are you tagged? There you are. Rocky Beach. Whoops. Might help if I actually did that and select that. And I'm just setting up my spawn plugin there. So spawn plugin is now configured for this area, so I'm just going to throw that over there. Now we're going to spawn Julie. We're going to put her right in front of this tent here. This is going to be Julie's spawn point. And I'm going to fire up spawn plugin and edit that instance, and I'm going to add Julie to it. I'm going to make her plot, and that's it. Finish, quit. So now Julie is going to spawn right there, and I'm going to, of course, need some goblins. So let's put some goblins. Oh, I don't know, right here in this little alcove area here. Now I'm going to go over here in the properties of these goblins, because I'm just going to turn down their perception a little bit, because I don't want them attacking me while I'm at the little camp there. So I'm just changing their perception to short. And we will spawn those. So I'm just going to grab the Legend Spawn plugin and spawn some goblins. So we said we needed 3 seashells, and the goblins are going to drop a seashell 100% at a time, so I only really need 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one here, and actually, yeah, put one there, put one here, and put one here, like that. Now, what I'm going to do is just a trick in 1.82 is I'm only going to configure one of these spawn points. I'm going to fire up Legend Spawn plugin, and I'm going to say edit a waypoint instance, and I'm going to add a goblin to it, and I'm going to say 3 goblins. So I have 3 goblins on this. They're going to respawn every 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and there's 3 spawn points, and they're going to be 1 spawn per point. Okay. Now, you might say, well, hey, what did you do there? Well, I don't understand. Go look at the Legends Spawn plugin videos to understand what I'm doing here, but when I hit finish, what's going to happen is I don't actually have to configure these other 2. All I got to do is select them, right click, create waypoint sent, and I'm going to say beach goblins 1, like that. And what's going to happen now is one is going to spawn on this one, one's going to spawn on this one, and one is going to spawn on this one. Done. So I have my 3 goblins set up, and that's it. My quest is done. I can log into the game right now and play it. But that's not all I wanted to do. So we've demonstrated some of the new features in the GUI, and that's great. What I want to do now, though, is demonstrate a new function between the quest plugin and the banter plugin, and that's that eavesdropping button that we looked at a little earlier. So I'm going to stop the video here and pick up with a brand new quest for demonstrating eavesdropping, which is a new feature of 1.8 quest plugin. So we'll see you in a minute.